This week on the Hooptie Joyride, what's in the box?
Hooptie Joyride with Brian and Steve, all right.
Welcome back to the Hooptie Joyride. Hooptie Dreamer here, Hooptie Collector. We've got another interesting episode, at least in our own minds, don't we?
We sure do. We're wondering what can be found in the box. We have some pretty cool rides coming to us this week.
Yeah, nothing like digging through the garage and see what you can uncover. And we found some. You want to jump right in?
Let's jump in. Let's start talking about it.
All right. I think you are starting us off.
All right. So I have a 1992 Chevy. They're calling it the Sheepdog. Total price $1,500. So plenty of budget left. As a reminder, our goal here is $5,000 overall budget. Buy, fix up, make your hoopty to what you dream it to be for a total budget of $5,000. So this car is called the Dumb and Dumber Edition. Flashback to the movie. I don't know where the guy or who would take the time to put carpet, where they got the carpet to wrap your car in this or your van in this. Says that it was used as a bachelor party project, kind of a strange bachelor party. It runs, drives, stops. It's got a new brake system installed last year. It's got a new battery, and it is in need of tires. And as Dreamer will see in a little bit, why we need tires on this Sheepdog. What are your thoughts on it, Dreamer?
I had my first thought was what you already mentioned. Where in the world did this carpet come from? The dog circling it as if he wants to soil the carpet or has previously soiled the carpet was my second thought. So, weird for sure. You said $1,500.
$1,500. Runs, drives, and in your next photo, I think we'll see why it needs new tires.
The one-legger.
The guy on his listing, which, as a reminder, we do have all the listings, below. In his listing, he has a video of this thing doing a wild one-wheel burnout. It's covered in smoke. You can't even see the Sheepdog pretty much when he's done. So that explains why you need tires on the vehicle. And I forgot to mention, you could get this for less than $1,500. He's got it listed there. He's looking for interesting trades, such as a mini bike, quads, go-kart, outdoor toys, or for all you other hoopty collectors out there that might have a toy collection, he will gladly trade you for your Ninja Turtle stuff.
I wonder if that includes a half-eaten pizza.
So he closes out the ad by saying, let's have some laughs and see if we could strike a fun deal. So I'll let you dream about that one, Dreamer. I don't think I'm a collector on this one.
I mean, it's different. I mean, I would want to know what the condition of the body was underneath the carpet. But even so, I think at $1,500, I could probably find something a little less skeevy, in my opinion.
Just think when it gets wet, how heavy that carpet is on the side of that truck.
Yeah. So. Right. Your fuel mileage goes down considerably in the rain and snow.
Sure does.
All right. I'm going to take over from here. See if we can improve upon this episode a bit. Coming up from my side, another GM product. This one's a 1970 G20 coming out of Desherd. I think that's how I'm pronouncing it, somewhere between Chattanooga and Nashville. I'm right at the top of the budget. So, anything I'm doing here is sweat equity. But that's okay because runs and drives. It is a four-wheel drive, as we can kind of surmise here from the side view. clearly the paint is seen better days, but and definitely some rust in a few different areas, but I'm not too concerned about that. Probably have some West Virginia chrome left over or some Colorado carbon fiber. That's a reference to last week's episode, so please check that out and have a better idea what we're talking about. But at any rate, I think I could fix it up. Glass looks like it's in good shape. It is this. So this is I think the second generation of the Chevy vans. There was another one that looked a bit like this, and then third generation and on looked a bit like Sheepdog without the carpet on the outside. But this one's had some work done. It's been swapped. It's got 6 lug wheels, 12-bolt rear. It appears to have a motor swap as well. It says it comes with a 327 with a turbo 400 and a 205 transfer case. Don't know if that's out of a truck or a van. But overall, other than a little bit of TLC, it seems to be not bad. It's got custom side windows. Yeah, pretty interesting. It's part of what is this considered a forward control design. In the early days of the GMC or the GM van. So I don't know. What do you think of my most excellent pick here?
Well, I love the rear bumper setup on it. The tow hitch. It almost looks like there's a bird on the back of that tow hitch. It kind of looks like to me.
I think it's a pinto hook.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. It just looked like a white head there with a little beak coming down. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, interesting. I guess that's a fog light, spotlight on the roof up front. But yeah, interesting vehicle. I'm not sure you're quite ready to go mudding in this, but be great running around in. Home Depot runs, I'm definitely have people looking at you.
Yeah, so. For sure. Different, interesting. Probably for me a little bit too high on the budgetary aspect because anything breaks, you're over budget.
Yep.
I think you're up next.
All right. So we have a 1976 Dodge Champion coming to us from Feasterville, Trevose, Pennsylvania, suburbs of Philadelphia. It's at $1,300. So we have a lot of budget left. All right. So this is an RV. So we're going a little different this week. We got an RV in here. As you see, looks solid, looks straight, with the exception maybe the front bumper. The ad does say it will run. However, he says the fuel tank needs to be relined. So says it's got great bones to restore, make a food truck out of it. Has a generator and all the original equipment. So you got your old CB radio fan up front, so you don't have to worry about air conditioning. Actually, it looks like there's 2 CB radios on it. I see one down in the middle there and one up on the dash. So, I love the 1970s carpet and the velour seats. Yeah, what are you thinking there, Dreamer?
Well, from this shot, I'm thinking it's the crime scene. Just looking at the back of the driver's seat. And no shortage of carpet if anybody's looking to remake Sheepdog 2 as well.
We can coach your G20 over there, Brian. I'll donate it to keep you under budget. It looks like it has a vintage refrigerator there on the left. Heading to the back there, couches. I'm going to say the table seems to be missing, unless it's somewhere else, but there should have been a table that sticks in that little post or hole at the bottom.
Yep.
There. It's a little party wagon. So the roof ceiling looks like, I don't know. It looks like popcorn ceiling. It looks like maybe a little leak up top on the right. Yeah. And then I think you got a pretty cool picture of the bathroom. I don't know. Carpet for the bathroom. Your no-slip flowers on the tub there.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going on with the back of the toilet there? That wall looks like a waterfall has been coming down inside there. But hey, once again, what is in the box? we're exposing what's in this box.
Yeah, it's some sort of communicable disease, no doubt. I like the avocado color. I used to have that actually in a house one time that got ripped out. But yeah, what would you do with this? I'm just going to keep the photo on the bathroom. What would you do with this?
Well, I think for this, since it does run, if you're going to use it outside of your yard, you want to take it somewhere, I think it's basically you take it to your son's high school football game and tailgate. I wouldn't trust it to go too much further. You may really embarrass your kids at the football game rolling in this, but growing up, we had several RVs over the years. This would be, quite a ride. It'd be different.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, price wise, if it does, run and all you really need to do is get some, gas tank liner and clean it out. I think Eastwood's got a decent product for that. So,
right.
You're probably not into it for a whole lot. And like you said, just tool it around the neighborhood, around town.
And you still got $3,500 to go, $3,700 in the budget. So
yeah, pretty good. That'll help you.
Cash, cash probably talk less than $1,300. So
yeah, that'll help with maybe a couple of gallons of bleach for the bathroom and whatever else you need for the rest of it.
Let's see what you got, Dreamer.
All right, moving on. We're going to come a little bit more modern for my second pick. It is a 1988 Toyota Previa. I don't recall that Toyota actually used that name that early, but I guess they did. Coming to us from Hotlanta with the low price of about $1,500. It's the Peace Wagon. It's got I would almost say 70s colors, with the brown, the earth tones, but interesting, another forward control unintentionally from my picks. But these were interesting. You're basically sitting on top of the front axle and or front drivetrain. And when you steer, like the van starts moving before you do. It's really, really kind of weird. But this one says it used to be in pretty good shape. It ran, but hit a pothole, has uncovered some sort of electrical issue that the seller is unwilling to, or incapable of fixing. So they're willing to let this one pass on down the road for not too much money. It's got a couple of mods, no seating in the back half of it, so it's a hauler of whatever you want. You pointed out something interesting in this photo to me that I missed the first time around.
Yeah, and I actually just saw it in your previous photo. It's on both sides. It looks like they used a fence handle up top there as like a grab bar to get in the side here. Why they need it on the driver's side? Because there's no driver's side door other than the front. It's kind of unique. Custom mod.
Just how quality work goes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some additional custom bamboo pull handles, which is great. I'm guessing the front end has had some work at some point in time, or the steering wheel was pulled off. But who knows? Upgraded stereo, that's cool. And the push button overdrive, which if you're in overdrive and you click that little button, it's called the turbo. That's how you're getting a little bit more pep in your step from whatever this is. And you got the cool upgraded foot gas pedal.
Yeah.
So pulling more 60s vibes into your ride. But hey, if you can sort out the electrical issue pretty easily, you've got pretty decent ride, good storage capacity. I don't think it really can haul a whole lot of heavy stuff, but maybe you're in a garage band and you need to get some of your kit to a local show. This would be a perfect one to show up in if you're some sort of Beatles cover band. Right. What would you do? You a buyer on this one?
If I had a need, maybe. I'm looking at, it's Home Depot runs the flour store to pick up mulch, maybe bags of mulch, stuff like that for yard work. Probably not taking it too far.
Yeah.
But the price is right for that price point. Maybe electrical problems, that aftermarket toggle switch up there on the dash there. Who knows?
Yeah. It is curious that a pothole would have, completely shut off the ride.
Right.
So, you know what? It's bringing back a little bit of vibes for me. That 78 Rabbit that I had, that, either wouldn't start or you couldn't shut it off due to some weird electrical issues. So, sometimes I had to run it until the gas tank was empty. So that was a stellar purchase on my part.
You've had a few of those over the years.
Yeah, they've all been stellar purchases, if I'm being honest. So cool. All right, over to you for the next one.
All right. So my next one is a 1985 Toyota, and we're calling it a custom. You'll see in a moment. It's not really a truck or a van. It's coming from Somerset, New Jersey, $4,000. So I'm going to follow along with the little quasi RV type theme, even though we're not sure when you get to the interior pictures. This particular vehicle, it's a project, he says. It'll start right up, but he said it needs rust repair underneath. Says, don't waste my time or your time. It does have a salvage title. So I'm not sure exactly why the salvage title, other than, he does mention rust underneath. But yeah, it's got a unique design there with the, the high roof over to the driver's seat and passenger seat there, and not quite a Chinook, but let's see what we have. It's a huge back door. It doesn't look like it fits right down at the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on with the bag of trash coming out of the side there. Plastic bag. But, $4,000. So you don't have a whole lot of budget left in the end. It looks like that is a mattress. Maybe you lay it down. You don't really need sheets if you just pull down the headliner and wrap up in that, since that's already sagging for you. It's got your little custom spotlights inside for reading. Flashback to the 80s with the, velour upholstery.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
This one's interesting. It's a shot of the venerable 22 RE motor. That might be the most valuable thing on the ride. It's different. I'm getting like some sort of transport van, right? Like either for airport runs or something along those lines. Doesn't look like an RV to me. But the biggest concern that I had that you just mentioned is rust underneath. This is probably already some sort of custom frame under these things, and if that needs repair or replacing, I would beware for sure.
Yep, you're definitely going to be over the budget at that point. So, I just wanted to point this out. It's unique. You don't see them every day. Maybe somebody has a need for it, and it might fit your needs.
I mean, those Chinooks you mentioned, those are generally, if you can find one in decent condition, those typically hold their value. Those are pretty well regarded. So so maybe you got a good starting point here if you can get the price down. But at this number, I think I'm a no.
Yep, I agree. Well, let's take a look at your third pick of the week.
So speaking of high budget, possible no's, but came across this one from Belgrade, Montana. It's a 1986 Vixen 21 for the low price of $4,000. What is a Vixen 21, you might ask? That's it.
Right.
This was at its time considered the driver's RV because it's actually, you can't really tell from this photo, but it's only about 6 feet tall. And it's a bit wide, so it's pretty stable on the road that way, as opposed to narrow and tall. It's in a standard garage or a typical garage, so you could be garage kept. A lot of innovations coming out of this particular brand. I mean, it was the first to have an inverter in an RV, so you could run microwave to pop your popcorn or heat up your hot pockets, whatever you're looking for. Also came with a generator, water heater, shore power plug. The other interesting thing, we don't have it in the photos, is the top is hinged on one side. So it actually has kind of a little pop top, which extends the interior height so that somebody who's up to about 6'2" could actually walk around in there. Because when you heard me say it was 6 feet, you were probably like, what now? But came with the feature to make that happen. They had 3 models of this. The XC, which was a limo, which is what this one started its life as. And then they had the TD, and I forget what the other one was. But it's fiberglass on a steel frame. So who knows, it should be relatively light, I guess. Decent gas mileage, I think, out of this. But the last interesting tidbit I have for you that might sway you into being a buyer is it's powered by a BMW M20 inline 6. So,
all right, now hold here for a second. Let me cut in for one quick second.
Yeah.
Dreamer, you are very good at picking cars that have no windshield wipers. I believe you did last week also. So, I guess you're a fair weather driver.
That's right. If it's raining, I'm going to melt. I'm too sweet. I'm staying home.
There you go.
But here's a shot of the back so you get a feel for what it looks like. It's like a mid-entry side door. I'm hoping it comes with the panels. The seller does say he's willing to negotiate on parts and extra things, but it is a bit of work. I guess because it has been converted from kind of a transport van limo to an RV, you got a lot of stuff to contend with. But interesting. Does have a title. For once, you got a good buyer beware statement. This is a huge project, and don't waste my time if you won't be able to purchase and get this from Belgrade to wherever you live. So serious buyers only, I take that to read.
All right.
What do you think?
I think it's a bit of a project for me. Hopefully he's got the missing panels on the side. With the low production, I think less than 600 ever made. I don't know what your parts availability will be.
Yeah.
I've seen them in the past. I think they're pretty cool. They're unique. I just don't think that's something for me there. $4,000, it doesn't give you a whole lot to move forward. But
yeah,
at least it's fiberglass, so it's not going to be full of rot up top.
That's true. Not too much rust to contend with. And the BMW motors are generally bulletproof, at least before you swap a eBay turbo onto it. So you got some good starting point, but I'm with you. I think this is probably a bit too high on the range, but could be also a diamond in the rough. Listing doesn't say whether it runs or not, so hard to say, and only a couple shots as well. So this one is probably for a unique buyer, let's say. I think that brings us to your pick of the week.
All right, let's look at my pick of the week. We have a 1985 Chevy Astro van coming to us from Runnymede, New Jersey. I picked it $5,000 worth top of the budget. We talk about sweat equity. Help with this. However, it does need a brake line on it. But other than that, it runs and drives. It's just not going to stop until you do that brake line. So, that potentially could push you over the $5,000 our budget. But I thought this was too cool to pass up. So let's show everybody a picture of what we got here. All right, they're
Nice.
calling this the Astro Cargo Shaggin mobile. So we got a a fun paint scheme to it. Got some pretty cool aftermarket wheels, it looks like, on it. I'm not sure what they did with the back bumper. Looks like they have a homemade bumper on it. Love the, I guess you got the camping / the other side had palm trees on it. So good for both areas. Looks like it says a rattle cane paint job. Now we know why it's shagging. I think a lot of our cars this week, the theme was the carpet. I love the fringe. I guess that's your sunshades up there coming down from the roof. Yeah, it's definitely different.
Could be a motion detector of sorts.
It could be. This here, I'm not even sure what to say. This little piece is between the front seats and the back cap. Full chain for the light, it looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a cat stand for cats to run up and down on, climb on.
It looks to me like a table, like you'd put maybe your your little tumbler glasses on some of the mirrors there.
Yeah, it looks like it's a mirror behind it because you see the guy who's taking a picture, his hand up there.
Yeah.
So
it's a nice parlor.
Yeah, so definitely different. I'm not sure what you're going to do in that little section there compared to when you get to your next photo coming up. What else can I say? You have the bed in the back with the big heart. So and more fringe hanging from the ceiling. So and look at the pile of the carpet they have on the ceiling there. I don't know what's hiding under those drapes in the back, under the bed. But once again, what is in the box?
Yeah, I would not have predicted this from the outside. Definitely was giving, some 70s era custom van vibes, but this is the love shack right here.
It is
getting it done.
As he says, shagging. Yeah. Look, like I said from the get-go, we're top of the budget on it. Oh, just actually talking about love. It looks like there on the cushion there, it's got a little cutout says love.
Yeah, I don't know if that's neon. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's one of those neon type lights. Comes to you from New Jersey. So
New Jersey delivering yet again another interesting ride this week.
Yeah.
2 so far.
Yep.
Look, I think it's definitely different. It's if I could negotiate the price down enough to pay for some of the brake work, then this would definitely be a conversation starter to bring to car show or something along those lines. These Astros, they do make pretty decent size, pretty decent little weekend campers. Seen a bunch of them around at national parks and stuff. Rock climbers, some adventure people, use them quite often because you can get a queen size bed fully inside. So
some of them also came in a 4-wheel drive option too. So
that's true.
Like that for the minivan.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's different. I don't know if it's different enough to part with my cash, but I could see the argument to do so and have a little fun in the process.
Yep. All right, let's see what you got for your pick of the week.
Well, I didn't quite go with the Love Shack, but I went with the 67 Chevy Ultra. Not a model most people are probably familiar with or have heard about. Coming to us from Milton, Florida. Low price, $1,500. Will need a little bit of work, but what is an Ultra? Well, it's a Corvair based, at least for some of the earlier years, it was a Corvair based drivetrain. interesting kind of background on this. It is a monocoque, so the body is also kind of part of the frame. It is was designed by an aerospace engineer, so you can feel like you're flying on down the highway. You know, cue that song if you want. The drivetrain on this one comes with it, but is not installed. It does have a title, so you got that going for you. And it comes with spare rack and pinion for the steering for some unspecified reason why you'd need an extra. But you got that.
And I'm going to point out one more thing. Once again, Dreamer strikes. His car cannot go out in the rain because he's got no wipers on this one. Hence why it's under the carport.
I'm nothing if not consistent.
There you go.
But no, look, I also, this one kind of looks like it's happy already, just being what it is. So I think I would go with that. Looks like the taillights on this were Frenched. I'm not sure if that was, or not French, but molded into the body. I don't know if that was original or not. Headlights. Taillights are as well. Interior, it needs work. It's pretty much a blank canvas. You can see some of the side wall construction there, really very much like the inside of an airplane, the fuselage on this one. So why am I a buyer on this one? It definitely needs work. It's different. I'm a buyer because only 330 of these were made. They were Corvair powered. There's a following around these. If you go to ultravan.org, there's a lot of info. This was originally called a go home. I'm not sure if that was what people said to you or that you're just like, this is my on the go home. But interesting marketing. It has a much better power to weight ratio than most modern RVs, around like 30 to 40 pounds per horsepower. So pretty light, makes the drivability and everything else easy. It's got aluminum fuel tanks, so not really much of a concern with rust or anything going into that. So different. You can own a piece of history. You can see here the underside. Again, that monocoque, it's fully sealed, in aluminum. And this, I guess, is where the engine would go. Looks like we're looking towards the rear wheels there. So, different, something cool. What do you think?
That's definitely cool. I like the aluminum construction monocoque. Corvair definitely have a following. You still have quite a bit of budget left. $3,500. It's going to need a lot of work to put back together, but anything's possible. It's definitely something you don't see every day, since there were only 330 of them built.
Yeah. In the later years, and I don't know how many they made after the switch, they switched over to kind of V8 drivetrain, get you a little bit more power, but as a company, just never really took off for one reason or another. But different and cool.
Yeah, it's hard to make things happen. It's a big country. You need a big network. You need a lot of financial backing to start something from scratch.
Yeah.
The
original designer of these had said that if I guess he started work on it in '59, the Corvair came out, so he chose that drivetrain. He said if there was, in hindsight, he probably would have switched over to a V8 drivetrain from the get-go, just to have even more power on the go. But hey, is what it is. Different and cool. I'm in.
Okay.
Well, that brings us to the end of our What's in the Box episode. I think we answered that it's a lot of weird stuff. What do you think?
I think definitely strange. A lot of carpet, a lot of ideas, what you can do out there. And hey, let's hear your feedback. What would you do? Do you have something pretty cool that you've built or designed, or maybe you own one of these. Give us your feedback. Love to hear it.
Yeah, let us know which ride you're picking, or if you've got extra carpet, we know where we can put it to good use.
Sounds good.
All right.
Next week. Everybody have a good week.
Cheers.
See ya.